Greetings. Here I am off of work. It's a day out. Still day. I love that. Getting off of work when it's night. When it's day. It's really cool. Just puts me in a better mood. A lot of crazy stuff happening in the world right now. The whole war machine keeps ramping up, doing whatever it wants to do. And the American people still have no resistance, no representation in Congress, no nothing, right? So that's what's happening. And the personality thing is still going on, still hyper-focused on personalities, Elon, and this and that. Now Elon's talking dirt about Trump and blah, blah, and blah, blah. It's like a drama. It's like a soap opera. Right, and it needs to be an analysis of power and what's happening and trends and things like that. So early after Trump won, I said, hey, looks like Trump won, and a bunch of people are going to be freaked out. So that's the bad thing about Trump winning. The dynamic there is that a lot of the country just decided, oh, that's it, we just love to hate Trump so much, like that's our sole focus now. That's all we got. This Trump, and so that provides this huge cover for companies like the Geo Group, with which Pam is affiliated with, and our Palantir. Which, good buddy of J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, Palantir. So I had early on, after Trump won, I said, okay, great, go, you should be happy for him if he does something good, and you should be critical of him if he does something bad. And you should pay attention to his cabinet picks and who are the cabinet, what's happening. And I mentioned the Geo Group and Palantir soon after Trump won, because J.D. Vance was already, of course, the vice president. So there's Palantir. They're already in. And there was talk of like a digital ID, and they're starting to float these ideas. And so now that's shaping up even more. Trump is talking even more about things that are going to be data that's going to be consolidated. He's going to consolidate all the data about people everywhere and learn more about you and what we already know, and then consolidate that all. I guess who's going to get the contract to do that? Oh, Palantir, looks like, right? It's just kind of already decided, seems like. So that's a troubling development. For sure. But I don't want to be negative, and I got to change my tune a little bit. I got to get involved with something, like a garden or something. I always want to get into gardening. It would be cool. Unfortunately, there's no place near here where I could just do like 3 rows of corn or something, But anyway, that'd be cool. I want to talk about that, and repairs I'm making or something. I'm going to shift gears from this vague, just political malaise forever. I know that's really boring. But, gosh darn it, it's important, right? The reason I mention it, I would love it. I'm a reluctant political person. That's why it's boring, okay? So what I'm saying is, if I went around and somebody said, oh, Jeff, let me tell you about Palantir, bro. Here's the facts, ... and here's a link to, stoppalantir.com or whatever, I would be so happy about that. I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. Stoppalantir.com, I'm sure there's something out there like that. But, the fact is, I go through my whole life. I hear hours of leftist radio. I hear hours of all kinds of radio, and none of it ever gets mentioned. That's what's so alarming for me. That's why I keep harping on like what Pfizer did during the pandemic and who they are, Moderna and Pfizer and Gilead. They're not, benevolent, Anyway, it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to, focus on this, but no one else is. So it seems like it's kind of just, gets put on your plate. It's kind of, well, what's your thing? You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thing. Are these like huge players? If we were playing a chess game, and I think I'm playing with this person and I'm interacting with her or something, you know what I mean? But then, like, every now and then, this guy steps up to the board and she just goes to sleep or something, and he kind of goes boom, boom, and he makes like 3 killer moves, while I'm still thinking I'm playing her, So that's kind of how it is, this reality that we're in. There are operators, there are people doing things, people that get in their yachts and, burn tons of diesel to go to these environmental meetings and talk about what they're doing, but they're actually like creating crazy policy and directing things, in various ways, and it's usually not nice for the planet or us, the working class. So, yeah. So we need to get out of this frame. I need to get out of this frame. Dealing with, what did Trump say? What did Elon say? Oh, God. Who said what? Oh, my gosh. China. Oh, gosh. Russia, Putin. But there's never any perspective. You never leave the story, the half hour of Rachel Maddow ranting about Putin. You don't leave that with any new information. You didn't learn anything about Russian history, about meetings that we've had with them, about Boris Yeltsin, or you don't hear anything that's relevant. I find that very disturbing. Okay, so once again, I'm trying to do something different. We're going to talk about surf or fishing. Maybe I'm going to, other things. Okay, all right. Hey, here we are, summer. Kick ass car here in Oakland. Right on. Summertime.